Let's now go on to one example here. If I jump, let me just go back to the slides very quickly. So you can see here, so that's the example I want to go through, okay? And the example we want to do is similar to this one over here. It's going to be called the grades table. So for the keys will be the names of students, and values will be for the letter grades that the student receive. So you will see that in that particular example, both the keys and values, their types will be instantiated as string and string. So that's what you will see, right? Let's look at the example together, right? So this example here is similar, exactly the same as what's shown in the slides. And again, you should really try to put this into Eclipse and try it out, and also write some JUnit test cases if you wish, just to get yourself more familiar with the Hashtable collection class. All right, let's take a look. You can see number one, we are trying to import the Hashtable, and then let's see this particular line here. Let's now see how we declare that. You can see here, right? That's how we declare. The name of the variables is grades, right? That's what we're going to do. What we're going to use to manipulate the table. And also, this will be the key, right? You can think about this one is instantiating the k, and this one here is instantiating the value, right? And then, so you can also say string and string. Alternatively, you can also just say this if you wish. Okay, and now we got an empty table. So now after this particular line, after line number 4, let's visualize what's happening over here. What's happening is we actually got the grades table over here is pointing to the objects of a table, right? Of a hash table. And so the best way to visualize it would be simply by a 2-column table, right? So here you got the keys, and also you got the values. And at the moment, it's simply just empty, right? So you can think about, I simply just show this table here without any of the rows over here, only the headers for the 2 columns, meaning that it's empty, all right? Just empty table to begin with. Let's now take a look at some method calls over here. If I say grades.size, what should be the size over here? No entries, no rows are here, so it will simply just be 0. Does it contain the key Alan? It does not, because it's empty, so it will be false. I'll just say F. And what about contains the value B+? Does it contain? No, because it's simply just empty, so also false. Okay, pretty easy. And then let's now talk about how we can insert into the table. Okay. So we're going to insert entry by entry. So let's say we want to put Alan getting A, Mark getting B+, and also Tom getting C, right? Something to note over here quickly. You can see Alan, Mark, and Tom. Their types must be compatible with the string over here, must be. Whereas the A, B+, and C, they must be compatible with the value type over here. Of course, in this case, it's kind of easier because they happen to be the same, all right? But in general, it may not be. So we're going to insert these 3 rows, Alan, Mark, and Tom, right? So now I'm going to add 3 rows over here, 1, 2, and also 3 rows over here. And it's going to be Alan and A. I'm not going to put it in the quotes. I'll just say Alan. Alan will get A. And also Mark getting B+, and also Tom getting C. Right? So that's basically what we have done by these 3 lines. And let's now try to do some inquiries over here. What about the size? Well, it's now 3 entries. 1, 2, and 3. 3 entries. And does it contain the key Alan? It does. It is here. So that'll be true. And similarly, it also contains the Mark, the key for Mark, and also Alan. Okay, so all these will be true. What about, does it contain Simon as a key? It does not. We only got Alan, Mark, and Tom. So does it contain Simon? No, false. Okay, and does it contain the value A? Right, so now we are checking the second column over here. You can see we only got A, B+, and C. So does it contain the value? You can see contain value. Let me just highlight here. You can see one is about contains key. The other one is about contains value. Just notice that we're calling different methods over here. Does it contain A? It does, over here. So that should be true. Does it contain B+? It does, over here. True. Does it contain C? It does. So we'll put true over here. Does it contain A plus? It does not. So that should be false. Right? You can see only these two is returning false. All right. Let's now go on. So what about to really get the corresponding grades from the table? Let's see over here. If I say get Alan, so now you can see Alan here is an existing key. So now that means we are going to uniquely identify this particular row over here. So Alan is actually going to allow us to uniquely identify this particular row. And what's the corresponding value? It should be just A. Right? So this will be just A. Let me just get it thinner. Okay, similarly, what will be the corresponding grade for Mark? Right? You can see it's B plus, right? What will be the corresponding grade for Tom? Well, C. And what about for Simon? Well, Simon does not really exist in the table. So according to what we said before, if you try to say get, and then you will return null if the key does not exist, right? So now get Simon will just return null. All right, hopefully so far so good. And let's now do another one here. This one will be very, very interesting. Let's say we want to do, call grades.put mark and then F. So this could be some scenario where the grades may have been recorded wrongly. So now we want to update the table. So here Mark already exists. You can see Mark can uniquely identify this particular row over here. It already exists. So now if you want to add, want to say F. So instead of simply creating another one over here and then you say Mark and also F. However, if you do that, you're going to have the ambiguity I said before, because now whenever I say get Mark, should I get B plus or F, right? You got ambiguity. So that's not the way to go. What's going to happen is if you try to say put and then where the key is actually some existing key. Okay, let me just annotate that for you. You can think about this particular Mark over here. This is some existing key. Okay, so what it will do is it will simply just override the existing value over here just by whatever the value you pass as argument. So that will be just F. That's what's going to happen. That's very important for you to actually know about this special case. Okay, let's now go on to do a little bit more method called grades.get mark. So what will be the grades for Mark? Used to be B plus, but now it's being overwritten by F. So it will be F. Too bad. Mark actually failed. And then let's say we want to remove Alan. So what's going to happen is we are going to uniquely identify this particular row with the key Alan, and then we're just going to delete it, right? So to really do it, why don't I simply say so the purple one? Okay, I'll simply just do this. Okay, I'll just put a cross line like this. That means it's been deleted. So now after this, let's do a little bit more method call. So now if I say contains the key, does it contain Alan anymore? It does not. According to it, you can see we only got Mark and also Tom. So now what will be the size for the table? Only two. One entry and second entry. Okay, so now contains Alan should be false. And what about if you want to get the grades for Alan? Well, since Alan does not exist anymore, so now it will just be pretty much like assignment before. So it will just be null. All right. So that's about, again, some very, I think it's comprehensive introduction to hash table. You can definitely play with it if you're curious about other ways of manipulating the table. And let me emphasize again, what I'm not really showing over here is about how you can write a loop to actually go over all the entries in the hash table. It will be addressed in the week number 12 Java tutorial videos, but I will also recommend, let me go back to the slides. You can also go on to this particular extra tutorial over here, which I showed to you, and then as part of it, it will show you two approaches for iterating through a hash table. I'll highly recommend you try that and take a look. All right, so that should mark the end of this semester for the lecture. Let me just go on to talk about one more slide, and then we're done. Okay. So to really go beyond this lecture, you should really complete week number 12 Java tutorial video, where I showed you how you can implement the birthday book application using either an array list or a hash table. Right? You can definitely go over that. And then the 2 extra tutorial videos about array list, and also, actually, sorry, it's not array map. It should be hash map. I'll change the typo when you download the slides. Right? You can click on the links and then go over them. It's highly recommended. All right, so it's been a very good journey together with you for the whole semester. I hope you really learned something about procedural object-oriented programming in Java, and also 2D arrays, and also learn about how you can use API. And that's about it for the lecture. And best of luck to your future endeavor for the CS study. Take care.